Welcome to my home. It's Marjorie Snyder or Grandma Snyder on Etsy and YouTube. I've been away from YouTube for quite a while, and I want to share a swap that we did in the end of July. I did the swap with Andrea Marcucci. Andrea and I are both part of Junk Journals Canada, and we decided that we would swap a journal. I have never had anyone else's journal, and I can see the allure of collecting them as pieces of art. They're beautiful. Andrea has done an exceptional job. She gave me the journal in this cotton bag, which I've been keeping it in to keep it safe and clean. This is the journal. I'll get to it in a minute. Andrea also provided me this beautiful manila envelope, which I can see myself cutting up into tags. I have a mauve and purple journal that I need to make, and I can see this ending up there. Inside the file folder was this beautiful bag that contained many wonderful things. I'll definitely be using that bag. There is a piece of cardstock. I'd like to know what the name of the cardstock was, Andrea. That's beautiful. Oh, in this journal, Andrea used she purchased three digital packs from Amy Joy Studios, Stitched by Heart Sewing, Junk Journal Kit Sewing, Scattered Pictures Art, Vintage Sewing Ephemera, and Tailor-Made Journals, Vintage Sewing. So I thought I would include those, since that's the ephemera that you're going to see. She gave me some time cards to work with. I'll have to get on YouTube and see some examples of how to use them. Some beautiful lace. As a sewer, I really appreciate lace. And a lovely journal page with a matching envelope. The inside of the envelope is gorgeous. She also included an airmail envelope that was just packed full of ephemera that she didn't use from those three kits that I mentioned. Again, that is Amy Joy Studios, Scattered Pictures Art, and Tailor-Made Journals on Etsy. Look at the lovely cats. I am a sewer, so a sewing journal is very close to my heart. This is a needle holder, and my grandmother and my Aunt Marjorie had many of these, and I have a number of their antique ones. I'll probably add some felt and put some needles in those. Beautiful ephemera. And I appreciate that you've included them. I will put them into use. I have always wanted a template for these to keep my lace on, and I now don't need a template because I have some beautiful ones to run lace on. Oh, look at this old coats and vest. Another one of these beautiful needle cases. Just an exceptional amount of things. So beautiful. Andrea, you went over and above. Thank you. So I'll just set these aside, and we'll get into the really yummy part of this, which of course is the journal. The journal was wrapped closed with this piece of jute, and she included a doily on which I will open it. On the spine she has some beads. There is lace, and then this vintage edging, which is just exquisite. Now, before I get too far into this, I want you to know that Andrea has an Etsy shop, Dreas Bears. She is a maker exceptional. She does bears and other mythical creatures. My grandchildren would call them stuffies, but hers are pieces of art. So go over and look at her Etsy shop. So there's this beautiful fabric. It looks antique on the outside, and then it opens up. It's a hard-covered book. She's used more of that vintage lace here and fussy cut out the side. That's on cardstock. She's printed it. This is just goes over a page. Very pretty. A button and some cheesecloth. These excited me. I've always wanted to do these. So this is a fabric stash sheet. I will definitely start using that in my sewing. Now that I'm retired, I hope to do some quilting. I'll just leave those out so I don't waste your time here. Once you included one of the little pieces here as a snippet. This page really intrigues me. So it is a Vogue pattern, an antique or vintage one. Now, in saying it's vintage, I have this pattern and I made that top. Oh my. And she has attached it to the page so that it forms an envelope that I can put things in. And she's included an envelope here and some vintage ephemera, some buttons, an old antique button holder, lots of ephemera to write on. I'd never thought of doing that. Tea or coffee dyed paper. More pieces of ephemera from those kits that I mentioned before. Some craft paper. Lots of places for me to journal, and I am a journaler. Music paper. Soldier's March. Another thing I hadn't thought of doing was taking printed digitals and adding them to paper to strengthen them. I like the effect. She's sewn around the outside. I asked her if this is a coffee dyed stamp because I really love the effect. And she said no, that she actually got it off her mugs. Whenever I do it on a mug, I just get a little ring. Well, she told me her trick. She puts her mug on the piece of paper and then with a paintbrush, she goes around the outside of the mug and lets the coffee dribble down onto the paper, and then she splatters on the paper. I love it and will definitely use it. A cloth tag, some more of the fabric that's on the outside. She has used the pattern and created 2 pockets that I can use. Another piece of this fabric stash. I'm going to have to go online and find out which one of those digital kits had that, because that's just amazing. She is a maker extraordinaire, let me tell you. And another tag. I've been going through this every time I find something new, so a little booklet for me to use. I guess that was in there. Sorry, Andrea. More coffee dyed paper. I love the deliciousness of that paper. She's made some of her own paper lace on the side. Center of the signature. More lace. And tags. And this goes over the side of the page. Some more of that lovely stamping. Music sheet, paper. I love the color. This paper is really, let me straighten up this doily. Little OCD here. This is lovely paper. Andrea, if you're watching, if you could leave a comment below the video as to the name of the paper pack, because it's amazing. More buttons. A little flip over so the girl can have either a blue dress or a coat. Very nice. And inside she's got more of the digital ephemera. And another one of these amazing fabric stashes. The paper is lovely. We have another flip out here with the 2 pockets. So there's a pocket here. It has the another piece of that stash, and a pocket here that, oh, this pocket is very amazing. I like it. Flips out here, and has a pocket in the middle with more ephemera. And isn't this piece of ephemera just wonderful? And then more of the graphed paper with a fabric tag. Oh, this goes through. This goes on and on and on. Flips out that way. So we have another pocket here. And another piece up there. Cut out of a pattern. Now this, I don't know if I'll get this all on camera. Keep moving that doily, don't I? But this is unique. So we've got a lovely writing page. And it opens here, and we have 2 more writing pages. But if you go to the inside, you have a little story from a maker, a doll's. So SMTN. So I would imagine that at one point was an alphabet, a sewing alphabet. Very nice. And a lovely tag. More paper. Graph paper. Another Vogue pattern, the inside of that. Coffee dyed paper. Some more ephemera. And more. And I can add more from the stash that she gave me. Another pocket and a button. Back of that paper. Some more of that beautiful antique edging. And 3 more pieces of ephemera. Again, this beautiful journal was made by Andrea Marcucci. She is of Andrea's Bears, DREAS Bears on Etsy. She is a maker extraordinaire, and I am honored to have one of her journals. Thank you.